Excellent, it says. I'm live. It works. Just quit streaming, easier option. You might be right, but I'm upset at that. Okay. Well, I'm back. That was strange, but hopefully that doesn't happen again. Let's see. Did I miss out on anything? This is clearly a sign to cut off all your hair, toenails, and lashes. Put them in a bag and send them to me so we can get to work on it. Monkey, I'm not sending you my toenails. Alright, well, we're back. It's the same run as before. I don't really want this, but I'll take it. What am I dancing at? Oh my god. That's pretty sick. Speed up. HP down kind of sucks. Ooh. Man, some of y'all weren't early birds. You didn't get to hear me talk about the Freddie Big and the Epstein files. God, I hate modernity. New video soon. Unironically. Die, please. Ow. Don't put it in parentheses. I just need to add all the special effects. We're good. I already got the base all cut up. It's like the bulk of the work. Well, I mean, maybe for this project it won't be, but it's like at least halfway done. Difficult part is over. All right. Give me the D6, please. Give me this key. I could go for some fire rate. Let's hit a fat reroll on the Yum Heart. It's the Eraser. Sure. Okay. Which monster is the low one? This one. I believe the way that Eraser works with bosses is you got to get them to 20% or lower. That's not the one I'm looking for. That's not the one I'm looking for. Which one? Oh. Oh, it's that one. Okay, there we go. Okay. Monstro is now erased. Chub, can you not? Alright, let me get my D6 back, please. Maybe get a little more HP, because I spent a lot on that fight, but... Very good. Alright. Oh, my D6 isn't even charged. Okay, that kind of blows. The most interesting thing about Eraser to me is the fact that if Delirium transforms into a boss that you've erased, Delirium just disappears. Like, you can just beat him instantly. Which is just some stupid tech that you can use, where if you don't think you have Delirium killing damage, but you have used Eraser on a boss, you can kind of just keep dodging until he decides to transform into the boss that you've erased. All right, let's see what we get. That's pretty good. I do have a restock. Maybe I can hit a battery. No. Okay. Let's go next. Binky. Very good. Diplopia. Now what would I even use Diplopia on? Let's see. I get School Bag. I Diplopia the D6. And then I also get the battery item that lets me have more than one charge per each. This is what we do. And then you get maximum value. Ah! Die, please. I am curious. Okay, so I have this option turned on for YouTube streaming specifically, because this is just a thing that they built in. You can now stream on YouTube where they automatically crop it and they put it for vertical. So you can just vertical stream at the same time. Now, here's my question. I don't know if it just grabs the middle of the stream or if it actually, like it tries to, like, it sees, like, oh, yeah, this is the face cam. This is, like, the gameplay. Let's go check. We can go check real quick. What is the live version? Oh, the live version literally just is the middle of the screen. That's so silly. Alright, well, whatever, I guess. Whoa. Also, my mod actually works today, which is good. For some reason yesterday, it just refused to work for whatever reason, if anyone was there. Those who know. Ow. I forgot that I have blood bombs. Dude, this fight is so lame. Die. Thank you. Yeah, let's just do my devil fight. Okay, it's 50-50 between angels and devils. I would prefer angels. I don't know why, I just prefer the loot pool, personally. Also like that I don't have to pay health. What if we all started mining the earth and became worms? Well, we're already mining the earth. And there was that one, like, there's that one era where everyone was asking if they would still love them if they were a worm. So I think humanity is on the path. Like, we're getting there. It is the logical evolution. Now, my question is, what is the advantage of wormhood? Because worms don't have opposable thumbs, and opposable thumbs are pretty sick. Because you can play video games. Thoughts? Nevelio. Money equals power. Maw of the Void as well. Let's take money equals power. I do need some more health, and we're also playing greed mode, so I'm just more incentivized to keep on the money. I bought a bomb on accident. I meant to buy a key. My bad. Something good, please? Something good, please? Is that bookworm? No. Alright, well, that sucks. Let's go. Actually, maybe something, like maybe like a coin. No, alright. Can you give a hint as to what the next video might be? Yes. It's a cut-up of one of my recent VODs. And that is... It's not like a not too complicated of a hint. It's the Vespa stream. I've always wanted to make something out of the Vespa stream. I've just never, I mean, I did actually start editing it. I don't think I still have the project file though, because my laptop got wiped. Oh, that is terrible. Okay, I guess we'll be back. But yeah, I always thought the Vespa stream was really fun. I always wanted to do something with it. I was halfway editing the Vespa stream. I think I also got... I don't think I even got around even halfway. I think my timeline for that edit down was like... I was still working through it, and I had to like 2 hours of footage. Of like stuff that I wanted to keep in there already. Or no, I had like an hour footage I wanted to keep in already. And there was still like a couple hours left in the timeline. That was a really fun stream, though. I really enjoyed the Vespa stream. What are my favorite streams I've done? Honestly, I think one of my favorite eras of streaming was Doom Pistol only. Just because of, I liked how consistent I was with that. Very rarely dropped a day. And then also just we had some really good bits. I think, honestly, one of my favorite eras of streaming was when I was just started streaming on Twitch, and I was pushing to get to get affiliate. That was a really fun time to be around. Honestly, I kind of liked the item label unboxing streams were pretty fun. The cooking stream? Okay, item label cooking stream is probably up there for me as well. The unboxing streams weren't great specifically for stream content. The reason why I thought those ones are rather notable to me, at least, is because those are the ones I've had like my... Like, I think I was holding like 40 viewers for like my first item label unboxing stream the whole time, which is just a lot more than I usually get. So that's why it was notable. Oh, the Gardic phone stream. I forget how many viewers I had during that, but that was another really good one. Watching your streams is so hard. You're always here. You're always here. You're a masochist, I guess. Gardic was like 30. It's so awesome. I should stream Gardic again at some point, because that's a really fun stream. But that was a good one, yeah. Obviously, like, because I stream without my numbers on, so... I don't super care about them. I kind of just like streaming just for love of the game, to be honest with you. But it is always fun to have a bunch of new people in chat. You know, just a bunch of new faces is always cool. Honestly, okay, one thing I have noticed, just whenever I get into like a consistent flow of streaming, like right now it's like making its way into my routine. It'd be better to have like a more set time for going live specifically. But one thing I do notice is if I haven't streamed for a while, streaming a lot at one time is a bit difficult. Because I don't know if anyone here has even streamed much, but streaming can be kind of exhausting, I'm gonna be honest. Just keeping up energy for like hours and hours and hours and just talking. But getting into like the flow of streaming recently has been a lot better for at least stream stamina. I think one thing that could help is also not streaming so late. I do think, okay, I do want to not stream as late. I want to stream earlier, but I mean, today was different because I was hanging out with people, so I didn't really want to like end that super early just to go live, but But yeah, I do agree. It's not, but I don't really get tired late. My sleep schedule is kind of fucked up. It's more just, I'm introverted. I don't have great social battery. It's more of that than anything, to be honest with you. As cringe as it is to say. I don't think I want any of this. But I do genuinely enjoy streaming. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't enjoy it. And I'm having fun being more consistent about it. I remember when we were doing the Minecraft Hardcore thing, consistently going live every Wednesday, that was fun. I wasn't going live super often because I really only had time on Wednesdays, but I don't know. I just like having like a consistent content, at least in some way being consistent is cool. I like being able to like turn on stream and be like, dude, let's catch up. Like, what have we been up to? I can just talk about Epstein files and shit. And you don't have an outlet for that if you're not doing something like daily. I think I was going in here to look for a key, and I walked out because I was distracted. Sulfuric acid. Isaac's Cubes can destroy rocks and open doors. Sure. Immediately starts shooting at fire and completely missing the point. Oh, there we go. Do they destroy keepers? No. Very much is just rocks and doors, huh? Okay, the one thing I will say, I just remembered this. One thing I will say about the Gartic phone was moderating like the people who would get in. That was a whole thing. Does anyone remember the guy who just kept drawing like, I forget if it was like Nazi shit? That was kind of insane. I remember having to use Riz Monkey, who used to be on my layout all the time. I don't even know why he was there, to be honest with you, but he was helpful in that specific instance because I needed to cover something up on stream so I wouldn't get banned by Twitch. And he was just there. Riz Monkey was there in my lowest of hours. Riz Monkey was born in the Vespa stream? Was he? I know we put a bunch of stuff on layout during the Vespa stream, but I can't remember if... Whoa. Riz Monkey was... came to us during that time. Do I kind of want that, actually? I'm going to be honest. I think I kind of want it. And then we'll just roll a deal. Is it Sveltograd? What is Sveltograd? I was talking about this a little earlier. I think a reason why I've really been enjoying Isaac, I mean, I just enjoy Isaac in general, but The reason I feel like it's such a good stream game is it's just, it's easy to get into it and just like, I have things to do. Like this is like, I can just kind of lock in and, you know, play the game. Hit a brimstone real quick. No, pentagram's good though. Can I use sacrificial altar on my orbitals? I don't know if I even want to do that, to be honest with you. I'm going to take pentagram. It's a Russian game I found from 2007. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember you talking about that one. Dude, these keys are on sale. I'm going to take like 3. 4. Let's open this up. Very nice. Let's get out of here. Dude, the blood bombs range is so far. Yeah, might as well. 2 soul hearts, that's great. Probably my favorite. Oh, dude, counterfeit, please. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I think Maggie's getting excited about lump of coal of all things. What the fuck? Dude, how can you just spawn 17 little horns in my shop? That's crazy. I've never seen this before. Dude, my... Dude, okay, do not blow up my restock, please. Whatever you do, do not blow up my restock. Okay, killed one. Jesus Christ. Can we not? Okay, there's another dead. Guys, do you want to hear my fire content idea? Since I've been streaming so much Isaac, I get about like 2 good regular runs a day. This is not going to count as one of those. I think I'm going to set my quota at 2 runs a day, and within 50 days, I'll have enough for a video I want to make. Tell me if this is a fire idea or not. It's just a video that's like 8 hours long that's just called 100 Crazy Isaac Runs. It's just a compilation of just edited up Isaac runs. And I could just start like editing them up like weekly. And then just have this like massive compilation. What do we think? I think this idea is fire. I don't think many people get through the whole thing, but like I've never seen anything like that before. And then you could expand. You can have 100 crazy Balatro runs if we start playing a lot of Balatro instead. Could you lower the game volume to make it a sleep video? I think, yeah, ironically, like, yes, I do think this would be a good sleep video as well. And I'm dead. Wow. Okay, that sucks. Let's just... I guess no greed machine donating today. I kind of like playing Maggie, though. Am I crazy for that? Took an Azazel all the way around the block. Kane just needs to go up and do greed. Maggie needs to go both down and up. I'm kind of feeling Eden. Reduce it in parts and make a full version called full movie. What did I start with? Box of spiders and spider bite. I've got a spider run. Rotten baby. Okay. What's this pill I got? X-Lax? Okay, sure. I've also got 2 soul hearts. Terrible damage. I've got like okay fire rate. Pretty good range. Minus 0.32 luck. Strange Isaac runs. Like imagine we just play roguelikes every day. And then I can make... I can just make massive compilation videos. For sleep aid. Or like to study too. Go my spiders. My minions. Dude. This is powerful. My spider baby run. I could actually get the transformation. I don't think I've ever gotten the spider baby transformation. Dude, I forgot I accidentally blew up my dono machine yesterday. We're gonna have to fill that up a bit. Okay, this Eden run... Okay, besides the spider stuff, these stats and this health, this stuff is just terrible. Ow. Already got hit. It's crazy. That's more of a skill issue on my part, though. Growth hormones is not bad, though. Let's go. Clip farm? Clip farm? Okay. What do I clip farm? What do I clip farm? What do I clip farm? Okay, chat, give me something. Give me... Someone say something crazy for me to react to. I need an industry plant chatter real quick. Skill issue? My guy, you walked into the arena, immediately got charged. Well, you see, in the Binding of Isaac, when you get hit, you kill yourself. I'm fucked. Okay, that was a genuine. That hit was a genuine skill issue. Paralysis. Bro is crashing out. You don't want to see me. You should have seen me. Monkey, I don't think you were there for my rant. I was crashing out. I just had a good like 30 minutes of stream where I was just ranting. I wasn't even like playing anything. I was just Dude, I need to clip farm. What do I say? I'll give you 2 minutes to make the craziest clip ever. Okay. I need to think. I need to light fireworks in my room. I'm a terrible clip farmer. I'm bad at this. Fuck, I'm so bad at it. Dude, I could never be a clip farmer. I could never. I can't even think of things to clip farm. Okay, I need... Guys, can I get, I need someone's underage girlfriend. I need to inject her face with Botox live on stream. I think this is how you clip farm, right? This is how you do it? Epstein? I was not on the island. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was a crazy clip farmer? Sure. Bro stole Sky. I didn't even steal the Skylanders. Okay, fake fan. Fake fan alert. Doesn't even know the lore. You know what? Here's a clip farm for you. All right. So, for whatever reason, when I was in 3rd grade, I was broke, as a 3rd grader is. I don't know many 3rd graders that have money. However, that didn't mean that I didn't have the cardinal sin of desire. I've already told this story before, but we're clip farming here. Don't put that part in the clip. Okay. Now, here's the thing about... Give me this, please. Here's the thing about... Okay. I think I might need to... I might need to restart. I might need to restart my clip. Reveal that you are green? I'm not even green. Alright. We'll do a clip farm with story time. And we'll do another story time that I did while I was playing some random FNAF fan game. So no one's actually going to see that VOD. But we can turn this into something. Alright. So, when I was in the 3rd grade, there's a couple things you need to know about me. One, I was for some reason, I was like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Habitual? I would lie all the time. I'd lie about the most random shit ever. I remember I told my best friend at the time that I was born in Hawaii because I thought it would make me look cooler. That's not true. I was born in Idaho. Now, the second thing you need to know about me at this time was I was a bit of a troublemaker, okay? When you're a kid and you have undiagnosed ADHD, you end up getting into a lot of trouble. And for me, that always kind of... For me, a lot of the trouble around this time specifically came from the realization I had that the stuff that, like, when you see stuff, you can kind of just put it in your pocket and walk away, and people will never know. Maybe they'll know at some point, but you can kind of just do this. No one's really, as long as you don't get caught, no one's stopping you. So I had a bit of, when I was 3rd grade, I had a bit of a kleptomaniac phase. And so here, I'll give you like a regular scenario that we would have. And this is the beginning of my kleptomaniac phase. We went when I was much younger, around my house, my old parents' house. We had this store called Hastings. Hastings was effectively, think of like Blockbuster, right? You could go like rent movies, but it was more of like a general media store because they also had books and they also had games. And I remember the game section was super cool. I'd always go in there. I'd go over to Hastings with my dad a lot because we'd always go check out movies or whatever. And it was just fun to look around this store. And they always had some cool shit on the shelves. I remember very specifically one time we were in the game section and on the shelf they had a on the shelf they had this like it was effectively 5-hour energy, if you know what 5-hour energies are. They're like little tiny like caffeine shots effectively. It was like an off-brand one of those with but it was shaped like a potion. I think it was like it was kind of like it was kind of marketing to like the World of Warcraft crowd and just general fantasy as well. But I think it was supposed to be like it was in like the gaming section, so I assume it was like a World of Warcraft to like get your gamer up in the same way that like Mountain Dew like cater or like try to advertise to gamers because they need caffeine to reach their maximum gaming potential. And there's this little potion. I remember thinking it was so cool. I was like, Dad, can I please get this potion? He was like, no, you're like 8 years old. I'm not getting you an energy drink, which is, you know, fair. But I didn't see it that way. I really wanted it. And my dad walks away. He's still looking at the shelves. And I'm looking at this potion on the shelf, and I want it so bad. But, you know, my dad said no, so I guess I'm not getting it because I don't have money. I can't buy it myself. Not that my dad would let me buy it myself. All right, next time we come around to Hastings, we're around the same thing. I don't point it out, but I do see this potion again. This little potion that was on the shelf. And this is the beginning of something truly atrocious. So we're walking through, all right? Get over to the energy drink again. Obviously, I know my dad's going to say no. So I don't even ask. And we're going through, you know, we're still looking around. I remember my dad goes over to a different aisle. And I sneak away. And I reach up on the shelf. It's like up like high on the shelf. Like kids aren't supposed to have this at all, you know? Because, you know, why a kid does not need an energy drink. I remember we reach up on this. I reach up on this shelf. And it's winter time. In Idaho, it gets really cold. Holy shit, that is mutant spider. Idaho, it gets really cold. So I have this like super big jacket on. Oh my god, I have Spider Baby now. I've never seen this before. And I go over and I just put it in my pocket. And since I have such a puffy jacket, you can't tell that there's anything in my pocket. So I go up, catch up with my dad. Obviously, he has no reason to assume that anything's up. Because, why would he? And I just, we get in line. We go to the cash register. Everything's all honky-dory. We go home. I take this, when we get home, I remember I go, like, rush upstairs. Because I'm like, I've done something bad. I've just stolen something from the store. A store that I like, no less. But, a store. I've stolen something. That's a crime. That's illegal. Even at the time, I know this. But it's a little exhilarating. I run up to my room. I remember I put it in, like, I had this bunk bed at the time that had, like, a built-in desk. And I remember we, like, there's, like, a shelf in there. Or a drawer. It was a drawer. And I went and I stashed it away in there. And I was like, no one can ever know. I remember just having this. And we would take, like, I remember showing it to my sister one day. I was like, dude, check this out. I got this potion. She was like, where did you get that? And I remember lying to her. I was like, oh yeah, one of my friends got it for me for my birthday. My birthday's in June. So, this was like January, I think. Somewhere around there. Maybe it was like December. I don't know. It was winter. It was not even close to my birthday. But that, I mean, when you're a kid, like, when are you going to get stuff without paying for it? So I stashed it away. And I remember I was showing it to my sister. I remember we were like taking turns, taking sips of it, and like jumping off like the top of my bunk bed. Oh my god. I don't know why we were doing this. This is just some random tidbit. It's not super important to the story, but I felt like it was important to know. So I got away with my first heist, okay? And obviously at this point, I'm thinking, my mind isn't like, I've gotten away with it, I should never do it again. My mind's straight to, well, now if I want something and it can fit in my pocket, I can get anything. So this starts my kleptomaniac arc. And this lasts for like a good couple months. Anytime we go to the store, I go ahead, I slink away. I find something on the shelf. It doesn't matter if I actually even want it. As long as it is something within grabbing distance for an 8-year-old. And it can fit in my pocket, it was free game. So I remember I stole like a bunch of shit. I stole like those, like little minifigure pouches. I remember I stole, sometimes I'd steal like candies and stuff. I remember, and every time I'd steal something, no matter how small, and I don't know why I would do this, because this was definitely one of my more stupid ideas, because this is just really suspicious. Anytime I got my, my like heist of the day, I would go run upstairs and I'd go stash it away in my closet. And anytime, like, my parents would be like, wow, what's this? You know, I haven't seen this around before. I'd always just be like, oh, yeah, grandma got it for me. Or something like that. So I was just lying. I was just stealing, you know? I was a criminal for some reason. And this is, unfortunately, every good crime story that's being told has come to an end already. Because if you're actively in the process of being a criminal, you're not gonna leak that, you know? Like, so this is just how it goes, okay? Remember, my parents, they were getting a little suspicious. They were like, I know you didn't get it. Or they were like looking through my closet, which is where I would stash all this stuff. And they were like, where did you get some of this stuff? And I was like, I was keeping up the facade, but I knew my time was kind of coming to an end. I remember one day, I was like, I haven't been caught yet. The way I typically go with a lot of stuff, I don't know why my brain's like this, but I like pushing my luck. I will do something that is either on like the like fringe of being like allowed, or I'll do something that's like, I wouldn't typically like it's not technically breaking the rules, or maybe it is breaking the rules, but I haven't been caught. I like just pushing it. It's just like, how much farther can this go until I get caught? And so as I was in the process of getting investigated, I remember we went to the store. We went to Target. And I was ready for my most ambitious heist yet, okay? I always had wanted Pokemon cards. I'd always thought Pokemon cards were so super cool. And this was back in the day, right? So Pokemon cards are actually on shelves instead of being scalped on Facebook Marketplace. And And my most ambitious heist had been, well, I can never get Pokemon cards on my own because my parents, I don't know why, but they never like, they never wanted me to get into Pokemon, or like they never like started me on it at all. Even though I had a DS, I was in like a generation where Pokemon was fairly popular still. But you know, I've always had a, you know, I was like a little neurodivergent kid, so I was just super obsessive about stuff. And my greatest heist yet, I want to steal one of those blister packs that had one pack in it. And it had like a Dragonite card on it. And I remember Dragonite was always like so cool. I still love Dragonite to this day. Had a big Dragonite card on the front, and I was like, holy moly, dude. I could get Pokemon cards just for myself. I'm not allowed to have these normally. This is my greatest heist of the century. So I go. I remember, so for whatever reason, I mentioned my sister earlier. She comes back into play for this one specifically. I'm not sure why I think this, but I remember I ask my sister, I like go up to her. We're like waiting in line. This was also just stupid because it was a very inopportune time to be trying to steal something, because we hadn't, like, it was not like we were in the middle of shopping and my parents were like super distracted. Instead, I was like, we were literally waiting in line to get to the cash register. And so I remember I go up to my sister. I'm like, should I steal this? And she's, she's like, what? I mean, I hadn't told her that I'd stolen anything up to this point, but I don't know why. I asked her, should I steal this? And I go, I sneak away. I grab it. I put it in my pocket. She doesn't tattle on me, but I have it. I make it home. You know, I run upstairs. My parents are already kind of suspicious of me because they're like, this is weird behavior. Why is our child walking out upstairs, or like sneaking upstairs? There's like what is going on here? I remember I put like the Pokemon card. I think as I'm like in the process of opening it up and like putting it with the rest of my Pokemon cards to kind of like cover up my tracks, I think my mom like walks in the room. She's like, what are you doing? And I've been caught. She's like, what the hell? I didn't buy that. And I didn't buy it either. And I don't immediately like admit to stealing it, obviously. I'm like, I think I might have tried the grandma thing again because it worked so many times before. But they were like, no, this is bullshit. I know you, like, did you steal this? I don't own up. But they're onto my ass. And eventually, like, they confront me about it. They're like, why, have you been stealing stuff? And I remember I've had like a little bit of time in between originally being like asked if I had stolen something and being actually confronted. I was like, wait, I have come up with my most genius scheme yet. My mom is religious, so I'll just blame it on Satan, on the devil. The devil told me to do it, and I'll get out of this scot-free. So I try this. Obviously not buying my bullshit. It didn't work. But, and I, honestly, this is one thing that I don't even know if my parents know about this specific part of the story. They asked me where I'd stolen it from. Or where I'd stolen from. I listed off a bunch of places. But I didn't want to get banned from Target because I like Target too much. So I didn't say that I'd stolen from Target. I said I'd stolen from a different like local grocery store chain. Called Fred Meyer's. I was like, I'd rather be banned from the grocery store. And they bought it. And I remember they like ran me around all these different stores. to like go like apologize and get like a talking to from the manager. Now here's the reason why I bring this story up typically. There's a reason why, I mean, outside of just being a story, here's the reason why I wouldn't really feel guilty about this normally. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I was just a stupid kid. I was just pushing my luck. I don't know, like stealing like a couple, like maybe $30 worth of stuff over the span of a couple months. I'm sorry, I'm not like, that's not something I'm feeling eternally resentful about. Now, here's the thing though. You know, the place I brought up at the beginning of the story, Hastings, like the super cool like video store type thing, with all the books and stuff. The place where this all originally started. So the place that I had, is the place that I like most associate with this story. I, like a couple years, like it was not many. It was maybe like 1 or 2 years after this all had happened, after I had stolen from it and like gotten caught, you know, I'd been grounded for forever. Hastings went out of business. And I know it wasn't me stealing that put them out of business, because it was a video store in the rise of the streaming era. And unfortunately, that's just kind of like, just kind of how it goes for a lot of those places. I don't even know how many video stores there are even left. If there are any that aren't just pure novelty, like the original Blockbuster or whatever. But, dude, I've gotten so many dimes on this floor. But I always feel a little guilty because that was like the coolest store ever. And I'd stolen from it originally because I wanted to have something that I couldn't have. And then they went. And then I always feel like my actions contributed at least somewhat to their closure. So that's the one thing I feel guilty about when it comes to this story. Not that I'd ever steal again. I think I kind of got my fill, to be honest with you. But... And also just I will have you know that I'm not like a chronic liar anymore. I don't just lie about just random shit for no reason. I honestly, ever since that, I think the biggest thing that I really took from that whole experience was that I think just after that, I just found that honesty is more of like a core value of mine. Being honest about stuff is just, it's like the one thing I took from it. What do you mean I still lie about random shit? Give me an example. Give me an example of a time I've lied about something random. I didn't even lie to the police when they came to my house and they asked me if I had, what I had done, and I said I don't even jaywalk, because that was a fact. Because the fact about it is that I don't even jaywalk. I wait for the crosswalk even if there's no cars. And I'm just kind of like that. Can you say, I love and fully support... Okay. My name is Papaya, and I love and fully support Monkeyed Flavors. And brand. Monkeyed Flavors brand. I support it. I fully endorse. Hashtag ad. Is that good? Anyways, was my story clip farm enough? Can we get some clip farm out of that? Get a little story time? Make a TikTok clip? What do we think, chat? It's too fucking long? I mean, you can cut it down. Dude, I got Guppy. Wow. Dude, Guppy's tail too. Could take it for free. Why not? Think about telling your mom it was Satan who did it. Could be farmable. Yeah, you could just make a super condensed version, and then I can just turn this story time into just a regular YouTube video. That's what we do. And then we link the short to, we link the short to the longer form video. Dude, wait, we're playing the game. We're gonna make $3 trillion, guys. The time has come. We're all gonna be billionaires. Guys, don't forget me when you get famous off of my Twitch clips. Yeah, that's one of my stories that I keep in the bank because it's just a good one. My one about being investigated by the police is one that I also that's a more recent one that I keep in the bank. What's like some other Mason stories that are just kind of awesome? Maybe you could talk in that annoying modern YouTuber voice, like, here's what your blank says about you. Here's what your favorite... Wait. Here's what your favorite Binding of Isaac character says about you. If you like Azazel, you like men. If you like Bethany, you like girls. Subscribe for more. What do we think? You should dox people more often? That was a good clip. If you play Isaac, you like men. If you play Binding of Girlsic, you like girls. Subscribe for more. If you're a man and you read Yuri, you're probably transgender. This is my awesome clip farm. We're in my clip farming arc, everyone. Wait, I have school bag. School bag, tear bombs, cancer. What? Am I stupid? Oh, I just don't know how this item works. I don't know how to clip things. This run kind of blows. I think I'm just going to hold R. Cambion Conception Monstrous Tooth on an XL with technology. I can make this work. I keep on getting like the most garbage stats on my Eden as possible. Luck up, that's good. Can you make a DaVinci Effects tier list? Okay, genuinely, I can do this real quick. Okay. I don't know much about Fusion, but let's talk DaVinci. So DaVinci is, if you didn't know, DaVinci is a free video editing software, and it has a paid version, which I do have personally because I used it a lot for professional video work, but you do not need this at all. It is free. You can use it. It is better than Premiere Pro. And out of all of the effects in DaVinci Resolve, these are my top 5. I think, first of all, this is going to be kind of a cheap one, but Text Plus is really awesome just because of how dynamic it is. When it comes to using the text layers for different things, you can use, like, it comes in with some like built-in effects that I use all the time, like drop shadow and stroke. And it's just the best way to play around with text. You can also use Fusion with Text Effects Plus to animate the text without having to bring it into After Effects, which is cool. Now, I think when we get into the actual effects for DaVinci, another one that I love is all the different audio tools, like all the different audio effects, specifically background noise isolation on your voice. It has saved my ass so much in a professional environment, especially. If you are using DaVinci Resolve, you should be, you should take advantage of the audio tools, because DaVinci has a really vast selection of audio and also color. Obviously, if you're using color, if you're using DaVinci, you're probably familiar with the color tab, but use that to its fullest potential. Color correct your footage. It's always great. That's just a bonus one, though. Now, I think out of all of the things in DaVinci Resolve, in terms of effects specifically, I love using drop shadow. However, I would say that I think my favorite DaVinci what do I want to sorry, I gotta take a break from the clip farm to think about what I actually want to say here. Thinking. I might need to open up DaVinci and take a peek around. Oh, here's one. Okay. I think one of them that I learned fairly recently, but has saved my ass on so many occasions, the noise limiter in DaVinci, I think it's Fairlight, is their audio tool. Putting a noise limiter on your audio will immediately balance it out to like a super flat level. They have audio leveling tools, but honestly, they're not that great. They can get the job done, but I found myself tweaking them manually a lot of the time. Putting a noise limiter on it is just a phenomenal way of working with your audio and making sure it sounds consistent and great. I put through an entire thing over my audio for an entire 1.5 hour long video to make sure that all the audio is consistent, and it worked perfectly. You need to take advantage of the noise limiter as soon as possible, if you can. Okay. This is a dishonorable mention. I'm honestly not a fan of DaVinci Resolve's I don't like DaVinci's motion blur. DaVinci's motion blur, it does not actually add motion blur to things that are moving around, from my experience. Unless you're using Fusion specifically. But like if you try to apply motion blur to like like an element that's moving, like a video element, it'll add motion blur to the like elements inside of the video that are moving around. It'll just make it look really blurry, and it's really gross looking, and I do not like it. That's my dishonorable mention. Okay, I think we're on number 2. Now, DaVinci is just a super versatile tool. And I think this one is something that's in a couple other programs, but honestly, I found DaVinci to have the best version of it. And that would be video stabilization. I don't know if you've ever worked with footage before that has been filmed with a camera, but oh my god, even if you feel like you have like the most sturdy hands, unless you are on a tripod, that footage is going to look super shaky. Unfortunately, in the modern day, we're dealing with tools like motion stabilization in DaVinci that can just stabilize that out for like the little bumps, and it's just phenomenal. It has saved me so many times. Whoa, that is a fucking Foxy jump scare. Hit the deal too. So that is one of my favorite effects. Now, I think the effect in DaVinci Resolve as a professional editor that I get the most use out of everything in this program. If I could impart one piece of wisdom onto anyone, they should use one thing from DaVinci. It would probably be the vocal regulation thing that I was talking about earlier. But if I was to give another thing, I want to give a shout out to DaVinci Resolve in the color tab, their color boost feature. It's not quite saturation. It's not quite contrast. It's a little mix of everything, adding just a little color boost to any piece of footage, whether it be gameplay, whether it be camera, whether it be just pretty much anything. Pretty much anything you can think of. Giving a little color boost will make it just look much more vibrant, and is just generally more pleasant to look at. It's not always a complete substitution for proper color correction, but take advantage of color boost whenever you can. Just give it a little touch up. It'll make your projects look 100 times more professional. All right, there we go. Is my DaVinci clip farm good? What do we think? I'm thinking about considering getting back into speedrunning. Let's see. Have you considered speedrunning Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories? I've heard that's an absolutely terrible speedrun, but that's kind of why it's awesome. You should do drugs or something? It's a little too late to be taking my meds. Clip farm, take the rice purity test. I don't know if I'm that comfortable with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. That gets a little too personal for my taste. Oh my god, my deal chance. Dude, wait, hold up. Clip farm? Okay, I'm gonna answer Joaquin's thing first, but I do want to read Monkey's message in a sec. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game made for the PS1 exclusively. That was made in the rise of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TV show in, I mean, in both Japan, but also like in North America specifically. It got like a pretty big boost. Now, the thing that's interesting about the Yu-Gi-Oh! TV show, I don't know if you've ever watched it. If you know the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! At all, Yu-Gi-Oh's TV show is a little bizarre because they do not follow the rules at all. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories was also made... this is because... Okay. The reason why the rules in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TV show are so whack is because it was made in a time before the actual card game existed. That's why the... That's why all the cards have like weird designs and they don't look like the ones in real life. That's why all of like the rules for like certain cards are the same. Maybe like the values for certain cards are similar. But they were just made, it was made to be a TV show with a card game made afterwards. And a card game that did not even exist at the same time as the TV show was originally coming out. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is a video game for the PS1 that came out in this same era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we didn't know, or where just the actual rules of the game were not established. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories does not play like Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. I mean, it's got some similar stuff. You can play cards face up and face down in an attack mode and in defense mode. But you can also just summon, like, your biggest, strongest creatures, like, right off the bat. Like, you don't need to do any sacrificing to get your big creatures on the board like Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have, which is, like, the main way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is balanced. You also, in that game, the deck building is really strange because the way you get cards is you have to defeat NPCs that have, like, a set group of cards that they can drop, and certain like NPCs just have better drop pools for different types of cards because the game's also super unbalanced. There's no consistent way to grind for cards that you want, and since the cards are just inherently unbalanced, it is better to just farm for like specific cards. Or even because your starting deck in the game, believe it or not, the actual starting deck, like the deck that you get, which the game does not give you a tutorial on how to play it. It's an old game, so, you know, there's barely any hand holding. But get this, your starting deck is completely random. You get like some basic things, like you're guaranteed to have like a board wipe of some kind. But one of them wipes only your opponent's side of the board, and one of them wipes everyone off the board, which includes your cards. So one of them is just objectively better, and it's like a 50-50 on what one you get. I believe Dark Hole is the one that wipes the whole board, and Raigeki is your like actual optimal one. And when the game is so incredibly imbalanced, and is not actually based on like an actual card game, so it's not like the rules aren't like properly set up. It is just better for the speedrun. You just keep on restarting this game over and over and over until you get like an ideal deck to start out with. But this ideal deck like consists of cards that confuse into like specifically one creature called I think it's Meteor Bee Dragon, which is just like the best one for speedrunning because it's just consistently powerful and you can get it from a variety of different fairly accessible cards that you can either get in your starting deck or from farming. You can, even though your starting deck you restart until it's good. You do not like it. It's not like you get one good starting deck and then you win the game. This game is an RNG nightmare. I believe some of the first speedruns for the game lasted about I want to say that some of the first speedruns for the game lasted around 32 hours. This game is it's incredibly tedious. I think the time is down to under 3 hours in the modern day by people who decide to push it. And it's an incredibly weirdly accessible speedrun, because as long as you can get down like the basics of like what or is good to fuse with what, you don't have to grind the actual mechanics of the game a lot. Most of the like skill, quote unquote, or a lot of like the success from speedrunning comes down to just pure RNG. That's why it's quote unquote accessible, even though it is not an actually accessible run. So that's you know, if you ever want to get into speedrunning game, you should try Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Even on a casual playthrough, it is fucking miserable. Ow. Ow. Never fought this boss before, so I don't know what to do. Ow. This pony item is pretty good. Alright, well, let me read the monkey thing I was gonna read off before I started talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Clip farm potential, reacting to Guatemalan municipalities. How do you pronounce this? I think I recognize what this means. What is this? What is the how do you pronounce this?
Municipality.
Municipality. A city or town that has a corporate status and a local government. So it's specifically a corporate city? What is a... Can someone explain municipalities to me, please? I'm a little confused. Municipalities. Explain this concept to me like I'm 5. We call states departments. Inside the departments there are... Oh, so it's just like a city, effectively? Not really? Is it more of a... So it's not a city, but it's inside of a department of the country. So is it more of like a county? Not all of them are cities, more like if states had baby states. Oh, okay. So I think I'm thinking of counties then. Okay. I understand the concept. the definition just phrases it strange. PhD, that's fantastic. Now you understand you must now rank all Guatemalan. Alright, Monkey, give me a tier list, please. And I'll rank them based on all my knowledge of Guatemalan municipalities. Municipalities. This is some good content, I'm sure. I finally got my Cambian conception to proc. Give me 10 minutes. Okay, Monkey. I expect big things. Also, while you're at it, can you go fetch me the other tier lists that you were doing in my Discord a while ago? I wanted to do those, but I never got around to it. Oh god, there's like 340. Is there any that are more major than others? Are there more notable ones? Give you like the 10 most notable municipalities. One heart, one key, one bomb. Honduras and Nicaragua do the same thing. I do know those two ones. I remember we learned a bit about Guatemala in my Spanish class in high school. Also, this is another boss that I've never fought before, outside of Boss Rush. In Honduras, there's a whole department which everyone calls a jungle, in which there's a municipality where only 23 people live in. That's kind of wild. You could know, like, everyone. I kind of want to visit. Is that weird? I've always wanted to go to, like... I remember when I was, before my channel ever got, like, much traction, I remember, like, one of my first major sub goals after, like, 100 was I wanted to get more subscribers than there were citizens in, in Vatican City. Because that's, like, the smallest city in the world, I think. We've crossed that milestone off like a while ago, but it's still one thing I think about. I've never had, or I haven't had like a proper milestone since. I think my next one that I want to grind to, which I mean, now that I'm actually doing content again, properly, 10K is the next big one. That's I think the next big milestone after 1,000 for me personally. Maybe after 10K, because 100K is a while ago. After, maybe a grind for Twitch partner. That could be fun. Twitch partner, you need 75 concurrent, so we're a bit off of that, you know, just a little. I dropped a dime from that. That's hype. Worth. Canned Clown, hello, how's it going? How are you doing? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, had a couple heart attacks. Whoa. Okay. Well, a good thing broken stopwatch is awesome. No. Okay. How did I genuinely just lose my I need to like focus up. How did I lose my deal chance right there? I got hit in like a slow room. Like that's kind of impressive, I'm going to be honest. Whoa. Got hit again. Okay. Good work, Mason. Really great at the Binding of Isaac. Repentance plus. Guatemala. How? Or, no. Monkey. I just called you Guatemala. Monkey. How would you? I don't know if ranking is the right word. Like, how would you rate? How would you rate Guatemala? Is Guatemala a cool place? Do you say? Because if you had asked me about where I live, I would not. I would say Idaho. Idaho has got some cool, nature. Like the mountains are really cool. I love being able to like be right next to them. Going camping is something awesome. One thing I always hear that I probably take advantage of, or that I take for granted, is having all 4 seasons. That's something I enjoy having. Those are like my main, but like outside of that, I'm not a super massive fan of like the people here. Not a fan of the fact that this place isn't super walkable. Would be nice to have some public transportation, or at least more options. We technically have a bus, but it doesn't really go many places. Guatemala is alright. It's like a bigger Honduras. Honduras is cool from Honduras, not Guatemala. Okay. But you, I assume you, or from how you've like talked about it, have you ever been to Guatemala? And I guess on the same topic, then, how would you rank Honduras instead? Everything's in walking distance if you have enough time. You know what? You live by that philosophy. Everyone, can we... I want to go... I'm going on a rant. Tyler here in the chat is my roommate. I'm going to... this is not necessarily a fault of Tyler's. Honestly, I kind of respect it, if I'm going to be super honest with you. But we need to talk about this. Okay. So, Tyler moved in with us like a couple months ago. I think he's been living with us for about like 6 months, I'd have to say, if I had to guess. Maybe a little longer, maybe a little less, who knows. Now Tyler and Tyler like are in our house, okay? This is one thing. Okay, here's the thing, okay? Groceries are really expensive, and also cooking is very inconvenient. So most of us are just too lazy to cook. I've been trying to cook more, but we typically end up eating out a lot. Now, both Tyler and my roommate Brennan, both of them, they insist whenever because they eat out all the time, but they insist whenever they eat out, they insist on walking there. Unless, I guess, unless, like, Tyler's in the car, it's always, like, we live we've been to a couple places. It's like, it's always walking. It's always walking every single time. Walking over there. And during the summer, that's fine, right? I mean, I like walking around when it's warm outside. But the thing that irks me about this specifically is in winter at nighttime, when it is frigid, it is cold outside, it is dark. Frankly, we're not in a super walkable area, so it is quite dangerous to be walking right next to the open road. They still insist on walking. Now, I can respect it. It's better for the environment. But I would not consider a lot of the places that they walk to within walking distance. Like, you can walk there, but it's going to take, like, a long time. And especially if it's in the dark and it's super cold, I don't want to do that. So I've become kind of the designated... If I'm ever eating with them, I insist that we drive. But neither of them want to drive. They both hate driving. So it's always my duty to get us places, which I don't mind. I like driving a lot, but this is my thing, because we're not in a walkable place at all. Now, okay, about this, okay? Here's the thing that I think is a little silly about this situation. They love going to our Taco Bell that's nearby. It was even the Taco Bell that we all go to is even in my last video that I made. This Taco Bell they love going to. Now, this Taco Bell is not a great Taco Bell. I'd say it's pretty slow. I would say I do not particularly... I mean, they tend to, like, they have a pretty consistent level of, like, they consistently get orders wrong and stuff. But the thing that is the worst about it, okay? The wait times are not terrible in, like, if you're taking a car. Like, in the drive-thru. But for whatever reason, if you go inside, that wait is compounded by like 2 to 3. You have to wait, even if it seems like the drive-thru line's really long, the drive-thru is prioritized because like the only people who are inside typically are like people who are picking up DoorDash orders. So they're not really made a priority at all. Yet we're still in a situation where since they insist on walking everywhere, they're not in the drive-thru. And so they always complain. It's like, wow, dude, this Taco Bell is so slow. They take 45 minutes. There is a solution right there. It is quite simple. The solution is quite easy. Yet it is a if it works well enough that I can ignore the problem, then the problem does not exist. Which I can respect. But I do think it's a bit silly, personally. Can you even have 3 orders going through the drive-thru? That is true. That's fair. That's the one thing I'll give you. But it is a bit silly. Left turn of doom isn't worth it. Fair. Fair enough. Me personally, though, I'm taking my car. Alright. This Eden run is not fantastic. I feel like this run still needs a bit of juice. And I've been missing my deals, so that's not a great position to be in, but This horse item, unironically, has been, like, pretty great. Getting flight and speed? Dude, okay. I'm not gonna hit my deal again. Dude, okay. Why is my tech not hitting either? Dude, Dark Bum. Dark Bum, this is another run where you are just here and I did not invite you. Cambion Conception has granted me Dark Bum. Oh. Okay. We want to kill Edmund over here. Ow, if possible. Because we could get an ED6. I am on half a heart though, so who knows if that's actually going to happen. Maybe? Oh, okay. Did not drop an ED6, okay. Dark Bum is at peak? Okay. Dark Bum is really good. Unless you look at my health bar right now, and you realize he's taking all of my health pickups, and he's giving me fucking hostile red spiders. Pay out. Can you give me hearts? This is like the one time I kind of want hearts. Oh, I think I just got a placenta Parok. You can beat him to the hearts? Well, yeah, but I'm on a floor with Curse of Darkness. I don't always see them. There's a soul heart. I'll take that. Cool. All right, well, thank you. I'm almost at 99 coins. I think I clogged my donut machine too. Whoa. Gang, it might be over for me. Dude, is that Satanic Bible? Got Bookworm. I think I kind of still want to keep Flight. Is that crazy? Maybe that's a little crazy. Maybe I should just take Satanic Bible. Because it is, renewable health. I can't believe I just got hit there. Okay. Oh my god, Dark Bum. I needed that. Dark Bum, you have doomed us all. You do realize that if I die, we all die, right? I didn't even invite you to the party. God, I cannot get a good Eden run for the life of me. I sent the cool tier list. Okay. Here, let me play through the rest of this floor. We can go do some tier listing. What the hell? Oh, I accidentally just uncovered a secret room. Imagine D-Infinity. The craziest start ever. Dude, I'm pissed. Get out of my screen, boy. What the fuck is this room? Ow. Can you not? Can we, like, chill out? Can we, like, be friends and stop harassing me, please? Okay. Reveals the entire map. Destroys all rocks and enemy, or... Oh my god, I actually hit a crawl space with that? This is the worst crawl space I think I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I got another crawl space. Well, it's not actually a crawl space. It's just a way down, but if you spawn 2 crawl spaces on the same floor, they just lead to the same crawl space. As far as I'm concerned. So if you find one, don't worry about finding the other one. Kind of wish there was like a sound effect for whenever Sulfur breaks the door. Okay. This run's doomed. Yeah. All right. My Eden has a mustache in this run and is wet. We're gonna pull up some tier lists real quick. I've been a bit of a clip farm Caleb today. Anyone got a fun playlist? I mean, I have a stream playlist, but I want something that is copyright free. Stream friendly music. This sounds good. All right. Gamers. Oh, I don't even have my Twitch. I don't have the thing for changing my Twitch category. That is Twitter. That's not what I was looking for. I need to pull up Twitch. Twitch.tv. Creator dashboard. Please let me change my category, please. Okay. Let me pull up these tier lists real quick. We're gonna have a bit of a fun time doing some tier listing. Monkey just sent me a lot of tier lists here. Because he was doing a bunch of them in my Discord a while ago, and I wanted to get around to doing them on stream at some point. But I just wasn't streaming as much, so... Let's see. This one is called Create a Many Things tier list. I'm just gonna open a bunch of them. Now, I'm not seeing, personally, Monkey said he was going to be sending me a tier list of Guatemalan municipalities or something like that. How do I pronounce that? Municipalities. Municipalities. Municipal? No, just municipally. Wait, municipality. Municipality. I don't know. This is what I got. This is what we're working with. Let me put... Can we zoom in a bit? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to move me up a bit. Yep. All right, gang. Whew. All right. This is like a candy bar with coconut in it. I'm gonna be honest, this goes straight to D tier. I fucking hate chocolate and candy with coconut. I just don't really like coconut in general. I'm not a fan of the scent. I'm not a fan of the texture. I'm not a fan of the flavor. Just in general, not a huge fan of coconut. So that'll be that. Okay, I'm just putting in D tier. Now we've got this guy. Monkey, can I get some context on this guy? Who is this? Who am I looking at here? There's no way to see like what his name is or anything. Let's grab some things that I do know. While we're on the term, while we're in the realm of candy, I'm gonna put the Simpsons Butterfingers Fun Size in A tier because I quite like Butterfinger. That's Eric Turney. Who the hell is Eric Turney? He's from Scott the Woz? Oh, this guy. You know, I haven't watched a lot of Scott the Woz recently. But I'll put him in B tier. He's quite serviceable. Now, this is a guy from The Sopranos, I know that. And I also don't really know much about The Sopranos, so I'm going to also put him in B tier. Although he's got some good clips, so maybe if I was more acquainted. Okay. This Reese's mascot, I do not like. I'm going to put him in C tier, only redeemed by the fact that I think his candy is pretty good. And I like peanut butter. Let's grab another one. Long John Silver's. I've actually never been here. However, I hear people using their seasoning and recipes, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to put him in B tier because I'm not super familiar. What book is this? It's giving Don Quixote. DaVinci Resolve gets S tier. Fantastic editing software and completely free. And if you want to pay for it, you just pay for it once. And it's not a subscription service. This is a Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. Okay, here's the thing about Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. I don't hate the concept. I like when they get wacky with Mountain Dew flavors. This one just wasn't it. I believe this is the this is Dante's Inferno, the different rings of hell. I actually reference this a lot, and for that reason I'm going to be putting it in A tier. Can't wait to stop down here in my journey to the underworld in my passing. Tupperware is goated. I'm going to put Tupperware in A tier. I don't like how it gets like the weird like white spots after you wash it too many times. But Tupperware is pretty awesome. This Lego, what's this called again? I know it's like the robot building kit. What's the name of this? You like have like the little computer? It's the Lego color / distance sensor, but it's for specifically Lego robot building kit. What was this called again? Lego Mindstorms. That's what I'm thinking of. This was a Mindstorms kit. Yeah, advanced coding. Because I remember I was just exposed to a lot of like STEM programs growing up in my like education, being in like the smart kids class. I actually had a Lego Mindstorms set when I was growing up, and I actually quite like this. I don't think I've used this particular piece very much. So I don't know about the specific things, but I do think it is a cool piece, and I think Lego Mindstorms was just a cool thing to mess around with. This is soup. I'm gonna have a controversial opinion about soup. Soup can taste really good. I love a good mushroom soup. I even like a good stew, even though it's different. I'm personally not a huge fan of soup. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I don't like when my food is not like something solid, like I can bite into. And typically if something's solid in soup, it's all squishy, and I'm not a fan. I know this is a controversial opinion, but like soup, it has its moments, but I would never make soup for dinner for myself personally, unless it's like ramen. Here we have a tier list. I'm not entirely sure what is on this tier list, but I assume Monkey made it, so it's probably D tier. This is someone trying to flip you off, except they're using the ring finger instead of the middle finger. Honestly, I'm putting this in D tier because it's uncomfortable. Or C tier. The guys at the soup store already know my order as soon as I get close. You gotta respect that. Okay. I'm gonna grab some of the Skylanders. This is Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball, I kind of like Wrecking Ball. Although he did burp, I've never been a fan of like burps in general. But this was my sister's favorite to use. So I'm gonna put him in B tier. This guy right here, I remember him being a little... He's cool, but he's a little underwhelming to actually use. He's a classic, though. I'm going to put him in C tier, though, with all due respect. I believe this is the Penguin from Batman. This looks like Batman Beyond. I'm kind of talking out of my ass, so I'm not sure if that's actually correct. I have no particular comments about the Penguin. He's a little forgettable. I quite like this guy. I would be happy seeing this like little M&M thing. Like getting this at some point. I think I would have a grand old time with this guy. Although if this is like a thing, like a kiosk at the store, that's hype. If it isn't, and this is like a little like container that you get the M&Ms in, I think that's a bit of a different story, because my problem with the novelty containers is, what am I going to do with the container after it's done? Like, this is like a very Valentine's like coded thing. This is not something that I can have all year round. And it's not a holiday like Christmas or even necessarily like Easter, Thanksgiving, you know, these types of holidays where, at least in America, you get really like, you decorate like the whole house. At least my family decorated for like Easter specifically and all that. I know like a lot of people decorate for Christmas specifically, but Valentine's Day is more of like a minor holiday. You don't really have the same brand, so that's like my one gripe, but I do like him, so I'm going to be leaving him in A tier. Let's see. We've got some Monkeyed. I'm going to be putting some stuff down because I feel like I'm going to need some context on them later. This panda guy, I don't know who this is. Kind of looks like, I don't know, it's giving me Katamari vibes. I don't know what flag this is for. I don't know who this is. I don't know where this is. I'm kind of losing my voice. Damn, I'm going to go get my water. Let me tap back in. Okay. I don't know what the snake thing is, because some of these are like, I feel like these are specific. I still don't know what book this is. Is this like a person? This looks like a profile picture. I don't know if this has anything more specific, and maybe if Monkeyed wants to tell me something. I don't know what this device is right here. This kind of looks like it has like a dial, like a grill. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if this is like a scene from a movie. But I can rank everything from here. Okay. These like Chinese like reaction images, I love these. These are awesome. I love how I think someone described them as looking like they had been smuggled in on a hard drive. Which is just a really funny concept for an image to be. So I'm going to put that in A tier. I really like that. Okay. This like PB&J thing. Honestly. Okay. Here's the thing. This is my weird fucked up opinion. Is that as a kid, I always wanted to have like one of those jars where it was like half peanut butter, half jelly. Even though it's just a worse version of both. Just because, I don't know, I just had like, it was just interesting to see them combined. And I never got it, but it makes me more drawn to this like weird artificial PBJ. But I've never had this specific one. This one looks like it might get like really soggy in the back. So I'm going to put this B tier. Probably end up being C tier for most people who are more familiar with this, or maybe even higher if they really like it. These pens with the hair... these kind of clog up pen holders, but they are really whimsical. I'm never upset to see one, you know, but I'm never particularly joshing to have one. And I do think I would never be reaching, if I'm looking for a pen, I'm never really reaching for the hair pen, but it adds a lot. Like, I'm happy that he's here. This cheese guy, I don't like his vibe. He's going in D tier. This lobster guy, this is awesome. I'm putting this like lobster hat in S tier because it's just sick. Homer Simpson eating like what I assume is a dumpling, although I don't know if the really big dumplings have a different name. Homer Simpson goes in A tier. Cut from S because he's not purple. Multi-tools like this. Like this is like a multi-tool like can opener. Kind of looks like it has like bites taken out of it. These are useful. But I'm not typically opening. Like I don't really need a bottle opener very often. So this mostly just kind of rots in the junk drawer and it doesn't get used very often. Gardeck Phone is getting A tier. One of my favorite games to play with a lot of people behind Jackbox. I would always rather play Jackbox, but Gardeck Phone is specifically really good for, like, as a stream game specifically. It's awesome. Or playing it with, like, a bunch of people in, like a Discord call. If I'm in person, I'm always going for Jackbox instead, but this is sick. All right, we're getting back to the ones that I was not super sure about. So this panda guy is... he's just Pamada. I kind of like him. I think he's going to get... I'll put him high B tier. He's like the gatekeeper B tier. I wish I knew more about him. Okay. I still don't know about this flag. This Funko Pop is immediately... I think it's Tony of Soprano. But I personally really hate Funko Pops, as many people do. So... I forgot most of these. Do what your heart says. This building gives me weird vibes. Is going C tier? I could be swayed if I actually knew what this is, this like Cobra thing. But I would never ever want this. Like if I got this as a gift, I would probably like give it to like the thrift store. This is like thrift store fodder. Maybe if it was like something specific that's actually kind of cool. Still don't know what this is. This, I feel like this is... I'm going to treat this as a concept of archaeology. Archaeology is the lamer cousin of paleontology, but it's still really cool. I took a whole archaeology class and it was really interesting. It was probably one of the more interesting classes I took in my entire thing of, like my entire tenure in college. Still don't know what this is. I don't know how I would interact with this. I also don't know if this is just like a guy. Although I do like the frog. So the frog's getting B tier. Don Quixote, I've never actually read, personally. But I really just love the concept of this, and I really want to read this. Is a very foundational part of literature. I'm gonna give this... I'm putting it right here, right next to... I feel like it being next to Dante's Inferno is pretty accurate. I'm going to treat this as a concept of anger. Anger is a powerful tool. Anger can lead to things like spite. It never feels particularly good to be angry. It definitely doesn't feel good if someone's angry at you, unless you're like rage baiting them on purpose. Even then, I'm not like a particularly huge fan. But spite specifically is like an addendum to anger as a concept. Spite's a very powerful tool because it can get you to do some crazy shit. I think I'm going to put bottom B tier. You saw the lobster hat in real life? That's kind of awesome, actually. And I don't know what this flag is. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not like a massive fan of this design. So I think it's going to go in C tier. So this is my monkeyed many things tier list. And that's our first tier list of the day. So feel free to screenshot, share with your friends, argue with me on Twitter. It's Panama. I like the Panama Canal. It's getting moved up to B. Okay. This is my final tier list. Feel free to argue with me on Twitter. Let's move next. This is pizza from Le Domino's tier list maker. Okay. Now I'm going to be straight up with you. The only pizza from Domino's I've ever had is just cheese. And I don't think cheese is on here. They've got creamy 4 cheese. But I don't see cheese. I see what looks like a pepperoni pizza. It's called the American. So we're going to go more based on vibe here. 4 fromages? Is this just cheese? Okay. Cheese, I'm putting an A. This is what I always go with. Because personally, I don't know. I just like the simplicity of cheese pizza. It's, I feel like weirdly, I just think like, you know, you can't really go wrong with just bread, sauce, like marinara sauce and cheese. And typically, like, you can get more of the vibe of like a pizza based on like those like simple ingredients. I know a lot of people as simple pizza is more of a pepperoni. I can respect it. Personally, I've always been a cheese person just because I'm not a huge fan of meat. Eating it, at least. So, but it still has room to be improved. So I'm putting an A tier. Now let's just immediately go with this one. It's like pepperoni. I'm putting this up in A as well. It's nothing special, but it's kind of like, these are the two, like the big two. When you're getting pizza, you're probably getting one of these. If you're getting anything else, you're probably getting a little crazy. Hawaiian. Personally, I've never liked pork. I just don't really like meat specifically, but pork, unless it is, the only exception is bacon. But even thick bacon is kind of gross to me. I think Hawaiian, this will be on a variety of things. I'm going to put in C tier purely because it's controversial. Now this one looks like what a lot of places would call the extreme. It's got like meatballs and a bunch of peppers on it. This one's always looked good. But I don't think it would ever be something that I personally would enjoy. But it always looks like it would be a solid A tier. Okay. This is going to be my crazy hot take. Margarita pizza. If a place does not have cheese pizza just on the menu, it'll typically have margarita. So I get this one every once in a while. But margaritas, it definitely depends on how they make it. It's just a worse version of cheese, if I'm going to be honest. If you could get cheese with just like basil on it, basil is a massive improvement. But I hate having like the big slice of tomato on it. And I'm someone who likes tomato, okay? I'm not a tomato hater in any stretch of the imagination. I just don't think it fits on pizza. I love tomato in salad if it's there, but just not on margarita. Just feels weird. Especially if we're talking from Domino's, this margarita pizza doesn't look like it's it. But maybe it could be, because this doesn't look like it has like all the, this looks like the basil's more smaller, and it looks like it doesn't have like big clumps of like fresh mozzarella, which I've never either been a fan of. I just prefer regular cheese when given the option. Okay, I'm seeing one that I've never tried. I don't think I've seen anybody try, but this looks like it'd be right up my alley. Tonno. Olives, basil, it looks like mushrooms, all on a pizza. This looks like an A-tier pizza. Like, I could fuck that up, I think. I don't know what the little bits are. Maybe there's some type of meat. Maybe there's, like, little bits of something in there. That looks good, though. Creamy. 4 cheese looks like... It looks a little strange. This kind of looks like it'd be margarita territory for me, where it's just I'd rather have regular cheese, and for that reason it doesn't get it. Hot and spicy looks good. This looks delectable, really. Goat cheese bacon sounds kind of gross. I think I'm gonna put that in C. I'm sure someone would correct me. Extravaganza, you're doing too much. That's a B tier. Veggie's also a B tier. Veggie, okay. Because I like all the pieces of a veggie pizza separately. Personally, though, a veggie pizza is a little overwhelming in a sense. There's too much going on. Especially since I think a lot of these textures don't really play well on a pizza. I'm putting it in B tier. Now we're getting to ones I'm not as familiar with. Does this have shrimp on it? I'm sorry, I don't trust Domino's to make shrimp. You know what? I'm actually gonna be bumping these two up. Even though I've never had this one just looks incredible. This is like the ideal pizza. And this one it just is like this one feels like it's the upgrade version of cheese. Whereas this one feels like it's an upgraded version of pepperoni, you know? This one just takes everything that's great about pepperoni and just turns it up. Chicken kebab, I could see this one being decent. I'm gonna put an A though. This one kind of just aesthetically looks kind of gross. Spicy chicken mix. This one looks like it could be interesting. Probably top of B tier. This is just going on vibes, to be honest. Now this looks like a... Am I wrong, or is this a dessert pizza? This looks like it's got like mandarin oranges on it. And like... I've never been a fan of dessert pizza, to be honest, but it still probably gets top of C tier. Barbecue chicken, this is a classic. I think this one deserves A tier. Now, I don't know what Bicky is. I think this is just like the cannibal. This looks like what we'd call the meat eaters. And this one's also another A tier. I will play Isaac, lose 5 runs in a row, and then win once and still think it was a winning day. It's because Isaac is an awesome video game. I like Isaac. Honestly, I feel like I've been streaming for a bit. I don't think I'm going to be getting my 2 runs in. My 2 good runs. Barbecue chicken alert. Yeah, alright. Barbecue grill. I just like barbecue as a flavor. I feel like this one could also be pretty good. And I'm not entirely sure about these. I'd probably say the Bicky original, probably good in C tier. I don't feel like chicken would really add to this though. And this white sauce is giving me a bad vibe. So, okay. As we know, the only type of pizza I really eat typically is cheese. So this is my list. This is not like a definitive thing. Feel free to yell at me. Where we go next? This is the definitive chips list. I'm going to be much more experienced with this because my parents always would get, like, especially my dad, he loves getting crazy chip flavors. So this one I feel like I'm much more experienced with. And just to start, I'm going to go ahead and throw the ones that I think are S tier up there. First of all, jalapeno cheddar Cheetos, goated, best flavor of Cheetos, in my opinion. Cool Ranch Doritos, love these, consistently good. I would also put the spicy, like, chili ones up here too. Also fantastic. Okay, I believe this one is Maui Onion. Fantastic. Honestly, I think I'm going to put Maui Onion in A, and I'm going to put the barbecue version up in S, because I love barbecue chips. These barbecue twists are also really good. I'm going to put them in A tier. Fantastic. I'm going to have a controversial pick. Kettle cooked salt and vinegar, S tier. I just love chips, okay? So we're going to have a lot of S tiers for this one. Okay, I'm not seeing... My favorite flavor of chips is not in here. So I guess we're just going to have to make do without them. Takis are going to get A. This is going to be kind of controversial. Some people don't like Takis. I like Takis, though. I kind of like how they hurt to eat. Is that weird to say? These barbecues are really good as well. Flamus is like Takis, but just worse. Probably put them C, because they're hard to eat, and it's just not fun to eat like a Taki is. Takis are just kind of fun. Chili cheese Fritos are A tier for me. Ketchup Lay's, I'm not a fan. Probably put them C tier. Limon, probably same deal. Dill pickle, I give B. I love dill pickle flavored things. Dill pickle kettle chips. Kettle chips are just superior. A lot of Lays are going to struggle to escape B tier. One of the few is going to be a bit controversial, but these barbecue are probably my favorite out of the basic Lays. I just love barbecue chips. Now, barbecue baked. I'm just going to put the whole baked catalog in D. Some people are going to want to put me on a fucking steak for this. I really do not like the baked. The baked, I think, is just a worse version of the chips. And I'm always disappointed to get baked instead of regular. Miss Vicky's sea salt and vinegar get to go up with the kettle cooked Lay's. Miss Vicky's jalapeno or solid A tier chip. Very good. Basic Doritos. These get like C. They're really mid. Now, I think these are the slightly spicy Doritos. Typical Doritos are like, it's like that is a chip. Lay's, I'd say probably top of C tier. Because they're just really basic. Oh, this is sweet Maui onion. These also get A. These Hawaiian chips are just goated. If you've never had them, they're just fire. I see flamin' hot kettle cooked chips. Never had these. I feel like they'd probably be a D tier for me though. Kettle cooked jalapeno. That'd probably be B. There's just better options if I'm getting it. Like this one. A tier. Sour cream and onion. Another one that I really like. Salt and vinegar. Lay's. Also kind of same category. I think just Doritos, the just plain Doritos are the platonic ideal of a B tier chip. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put both Funyuns variants in B tier. I've never had these, but they're probably C tier. Maybe D tier. I'm also not a fan of the jalapeno ones. But they can get B tier. I'm also not typically a fan of many Pringles flavors, but I do have some exceptions. For example, this barbecue one. Solid B tier. I'd say the cheddar ones also get B tier. And then the sea salt and vinegar escape to A tier. Because I'm just a sucker for sea salt and vinegar. What can I say? Popcorners are F. All of them. Put them all in there. Put the pop chips in there too. Not a fan. These chips specifically, I think I've had them before. They're pretty good. I'm probably put them in B tier. They're just a better version of Lay's. Basic. Lay's basic wavy, though, are going to escape to A tier. These mission rounds are also the... I think these are the platonic ideal of a tortilla chip. I think these are just the triangle variant, so I'm going to put them up there too. These mission tortilla chips are just goated. What are these other Taki flavors? I've never had any of these other ones. Probably C tier, to be honest. I don't like when they experiment the Taki flavors. Like, just give me Takis. Okay. Is this pickle? Okay, Lay's stacks. I don't think I've ever had one of these that I've liked. Put them all in here too. Ooh, heater alert. These chips are S tier. Some of my favorites. The cheddar and sour cream. Beautiful chip. Mwah. These Sandias are delicious. Beautiful. These are just a slightly better version of the Flamas. I'll probably give them B tier just because I like lime as a flavor. These kettle cooked ones are getting C tier. Same with these ones. Here's some sea salt and vinegar kettle chips. We'll put them next to the other kettle ones. Basic Fritos, I'm going to be honest, D tier. They're good with stuff on their own. This is going to be controversial. Regular Pringles D tier. I don't know what flavor this is. Is this like a cheese of some sort? I'm going to put all the Pringles that I don't recognize up in C tier. Pizza gets D tier, actually. I'm not a fan. This looks like a jalapeno flavor. I'm just not a fan of the Pringles form factor. I'm going to be honest with you. We're being honest today. I think regular Cheetos are also another platonic ideal of a B tier chip. Regular Ruffles, I think, are another platonic ideal. These are just good, though. These are the knockoff Takis. I'm gonna put these B tier. I had these recently. They were not bad. Okay, Tostitos Scoops. I would put in B or C tier, but I'm gonna put them in B tier. They kind of okay. This is gonna sound like a first world problem because it is. But hear me out. These Tostitos Scoops hurt to eat. Like when you go, there's no good way to take a bite out of it. I feel like any way I take a bite out of it, it always like folds in on itself and it scrapes the top roof of my mouth. I do like that you can get a lot of salsa and they're very whimsical in that way. And I like that they're at parties a lot. So I'm going to give them B tier for this reason, even though they kind of hurt to eat. Let's see, Doritos Blaze I've never had. I'm probably going to give all these. This one gets a B tier. I like those ones. These are like chili Lays. I've never had these, but these look like they could be good. Cheetos Puffs. I don't know. I ignored you for so long. That's an A tier. It would probably be B tier if they weren't whimsical as well. And just... Okay, these ones... I'm going to give... Flamin' Hot, like the regular Flamin' Hot. And the Flamin' Hot Limon. I'm going to give these both B tier. Because it just... Flamin' Hot's good. But, like, come on. Like, this genre of chip, dude, you just can't compete with the cheddar jalapeno. It's just how it is. Chex Mix. C for Chex. Now, what are these? Oh my god, wait. I can't believe we missed an S tier chip. Holy. The Hint of Lime Tostitos. Oh. That shit goes so hard. With anything. It goes hard without salsa. With salsa. With guacamole. Like, they're versatile. They're just delicious. Every time I have some, I want to finish off the whole bag. And you always get in a big bag too. So you can have it a couple days. Like, damn. That's a good ass chip. These guacamole ones, similar, not as good, but they're still A tier. Like, that's just how good these ones are. Oh, these are the turtle chips, I think. They were alright. I've had these before. I'm gonna put them probably B tier. Munchies Cheese Mix. They're just Chex Mix, but better. Probably B tier. I think these are Flamin' Hot Puffs. Probably C tier. You just take the whimsy out. Oh my god, okay. This is gonna be controversial. I fucking hated seeing Sun Chips at school. Hate these so much. How did... Oh, okay, Ruffles Baked. You get D with the rest of the baked. But just do know that your Ruffles are doing you a lot of favors. Like the Ruffles branding specifically. Wavy. This is like a sour cream and onion wavy flavor, it looks like. That looks like it'd be pretty bussin', honestly. I'm gonna put these up with the dill pickle. IDK, if they're here, but I had the best bagel ever with cheddar and sour cream Ruffles. Here. The cheddar and sour cream Ruffles, they're so good. They're so good. That sounds like a fantastic meal. That sounds like a delightful meal. Okay, Freddy's potato skins. Never had these. I feel like I probably would not enjoy them very much. I'm gonna give them C tier. This looks like a just flaming hot kind of, but not. I'm gonna give those C. I don't know what... I think these are just regular Tostitos. Probably give them B tier. Tostitos are just fine. These are Flamin' Hot Lays. I'm going to give these C. Because Lays as a base for a chip, I learned over the years, Lays as a base for a chip is just a shitty base for a chip. I think I'd rather have... That's why kettle cooked chips are just better. Even when Lays makes kettle cooked chips, they're just better. It's just the basic Lay's just is too oily most of the time. It's just too frail. Sometimes they get soggy off of how soggy they are. I feel like if I'm ever going to be having a Flamin' Hot, I'm never going to be having these. But I do kind of like the whimsical nature. So I'm going to give it B tier. The whimsical nature of specifically having Flamin' Hot. Where's the rest of the Flamin' Hots? I didn't misplace them, right? Yeah. I think these all... I think this is fair. Like a respectable B tier. These look like the puffs, but they're kind of swirls. You're trying too much. For trying too much, I'm giving you C tier. And frankly, I have no idea what this is, but it's probably C tier. All right, this is my chips tier list. I think these ones, and I'm going to put it in here. Let me bring this up real quick. What I'm about to show you is probably the greatest chip I've ever had in my life. Ruffles all dressed. If you ever have a chance to try these, God, it's everything I love about salt and vinegar chips and barbecue chips mixed together, and it's just delightful. This is so... These are so good. You guys have to try these if you haven't before. My favorite chips of all time, and they're never in the store because it's like a Canadian thing, and I'm not Canadian. But Olympics are coming up, and I hope they bring them back for the Olympics. Because typically they do. At least Winter Olympics. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, so this is my list. I hope I didn't ruffle too many Jimmies with the Sun Chips being an F tier, but I fucking hate Sun Chips. All right, feel free to argue with me on Twitter. Let's go next. Types of drinks tier list maker. Okay. We're gonna jump right in here. Lemonade S tier. What's another S tier I really like? Orange juice is a solid A tier. Tea's a solid A tier. Iced tea is a bit of a mixed bag, but I'm going to put it in A tier because my favorite drink of all time is peach iced tea specifically. But iced tea on its own, I'm not a huge fan of. Apple juice is solid A tier. Milk on its own, chocolate milk's A tier. Orange soda, I actually really like orange soda. Coffee is also another mixed bag. I'm going to put a B tier. Gatorade is another like C tier drink. Lemon lime sodas are pretty good. I'd probably put it B tier. Sometimes you're just in the mood for a lemon lime soda. Root beer is another one that I'd probably put in B tier. This one's... Some people love root beer. Personally, I'm not like one of those. I'd say fruit punch, or is it B tier as well? Water, S tier. Just, you can't go wrong. Energy drinks, I'd probably put C tier. If I'm getting energy... Actually, you know what? Energy drinks make me tired because I have fucked up ADHD brain. So I don't benefit from them, and they taste bad. And they're bad for your teeth, too. So, sparkling water, F tier. Fucking hate sparkling water. You can fight me on that. Powerade is just worse Gatorade. Colas is another, like, C tier. Grape juice gets a B tier. I have a nostalgic value for this, but I don't have it very often of my own volition. And I'd probably put citrus sodas also in B tier. I fucking hate sparkling water. Like, how can you take an S tier drink like water and make it into sparkling water? Lemonade's the goat, though, and if peach iced tea was in here, it would be top of S tier. That one was pretty quick. But I hope we all can agree that this is a good one. Okay, ultimate fruit tier list. Ooh. Do I see papaya in here? I see peach. Peach goes S tier. Papaya as a fruit is not the greatest, but it gets a special place in my heart. So I'm going to post it on, I'm going to put an S tier. What is this clip? Why is this so insane? What is that? What am I looking at here? Wait, hold on. Pause the music. Insane streamer can't clip farm. I need to think. I need to light fireworks in my room. I'm a terrible clip farmer. I'm bad at this. Fuck, I'm so bad at it. I could never be a clip farmer. I could never. I can't even think of things to clip farm. Okay, I need... Guys, can I get, I need someone's underage girlfriend. I need to inject her face with Botox live on stream. You know what? I can't like. This is awesome. Beautiful clip, Monkey. Thank you for sharing with the class. Can you react to this again? I need to clip this. Okay. Need to think. All right. Make it small. All right. What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to Insane Streamer Can't Clip Farm. This is from a channel called Insane Papayasaur Clips. I don't know who this guy is. Let's check it out. Need to think. Bro needs to think. Light fireworks in my room. I mean, that's pretty awesome. That's good content. I'm bad at this. This guy fucking sucks at clip farming. I could never be a clip farmer. Give up. Quit. Never stream again. We don't like you. Guys, can I get I need someone's underage girlfriend to inject her face with Botox. Okay, hopefully that was good. Hopefully you get some good content out of that. Let's go back. Okay. Let's get into the real shit, okay? Banana is an A tier. Maybe we sort out the ones that I've never had. Blackcurrant, I can't remember having it, and that's about as good as not having it at all. Actually, I've had durian, dude. Gooseberry, I'm putting an A tier. We can talk about it a bit later. Okay, sorry, I'm locked in. Rambutan, I've actually had this one. And I've had mangosteen. Jackfruit I have had too. Mulberry I don't remember. Neither kumquat I can't remember. Custard apple I don't think I've had. I've had a lot of these though. Guava I've had. Red currant I also can't remember if I've had red currant. I'm sure it's been in something. Same with pomelo. But I can't remember having it on its own. So... Are any of these other ones something I had? I don't think so. All right, we can get into this. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Kiwi, I think, is an S tier fruit. A tier. Specifically because you have to eat it with a spoon. But if you could eat this on your own, like, let's say, like, this and, like, a plum form factor, kiwi would be S tier, easy. Oranges are pretty good. I'm going to put in B tier specifically because the effort of having to peel an orange is kind of part of the experience, but I feel like it's just executed better in the banana, you know? Like, I would rather have that experience with a banana than I would with an orange. I do like that whenever I peel an orange, my hands kind of smell like orange, and you can smell orange for the rest of the day. Orange is a pleasant scent, so I do actually appreciate that. Let's see here. Red grapes and white grapes, I'm going to put them in the same category. And I do think that one is B tier. Now, I love these fruits. These fruits are both really good. However, I do think grapes are one of the most inconsistent. You get a lot of them, which is good. They kind of balance out, like, the levels of, like Like, you know, like it averages out to like a solid B tier, but sometimes you'll get like a fucking D tier grape. And sometimes you get an S tier grape where it's like super crisp. But then the D tier grape, you'll get like hit like back and forth. It's like fucking, it's just inconsistent. And for that reason, I have to give it B tier. It's still a good fruit though. Cherries are an A tier fruit. The only downside to these, in the same reason as like why kiwi is an A tier only, these are really good, but having to like have a place to put the pits and the stem is a little annoying. Also, they do have some of the same quality assurance issues as grapes have, but they're much more consistent. So I'd put them in A tier. They're really good. Now I put gooseberry here. I don't know how many people have had gooseberries. I put this in here specifically because gooseberries are they're delicious, and I've had them, like we used to have a gooseberry plant in our backyard, and so we'd go out and pick those. They're like really tangy, kind of sour, but they're just super good. I love gooseberries, and I will always have a soft space in my heart for them. This is gonna be very millennial coded to me. I'm putting avocado in A tier. Avocados are just really good. I love guacamole. Avocado toast, another very millennial coded thing, but avocado toast is fucking awesome. Most things are just kind of better with avocados. Some things aren't, but a lot of things are just better with avocados, and I appreciate that about them. And also, just guacamole is just that good. Okay, red apple. Dude, I don't know if you've ever had a Honeycrisp. Oh, delicious. Green apple, I do like green apples. I think this is going to be our first C tier, though. Because it's just, if I'm having an apple, I would rather have just a red apple. I don't think I'd ever prefer to have a green apple. Actually, I'm bumping it up to B tier because eating a green apple, it being like so sour, kind of gives it like a bit of like whimsy, you know? I think that's kind of hype. Okay, apricot, I think is a solid B tier. Apricots are really good, but I would rather have a plum. Plum's gonna go in A tier because plums are just good. Actually, no, I take that back. Do we have nectarine? Yes, okay. Both plum and apricot, I would say plum is better than apricot, but the better version of both of them is just the nectarine. Nectarines are so good. Nectarine is just slightly, it's a variant on the peach. Maybe I put nectarine in S tier, actually. Yeah, this looks fair. Dude, I fucking love peaches, and nectarines are just like a variant of peach that's also just super good. Watermelon goes in S tier. Said enough. Here's a controversial one. I'm putting cantaloupe in A tier. And honeydew in B tier. Now you might be saying these two are like the same. Honeydew is just a better version of, or cantaloupe's just a better version of honeydew in my opinion. And cantaloupe gets way too much hate. Cantaloupe is delicious. I had a friend, or I have a friend, who, like, her family just will offer her a full ass cantaloupe every year as like an offering, and she'll go and she'll eat it in the shower with the water on to like wash off the juices. So she can just like eat it all in one sitting. And that's crazy. And I can see why cantaloupes are awesome. I'm not that crazy about them, but cantaloupes are very good. White currant, I don't think I've ever had. Make sure it's in there. Okay. Blueberries suffer from the grape problem where they're just inconsistent. And so do blackberries, weirdly enough. And raspberries. Where are raspberries? Here they are. These are all very solid fruits. I'm never upset to have them. But just the fact that they're inconsistent is just, eh. Cranberries is a confusing option. The thing about cranberries is that cranberry juice is delicious. And a lot of cranberry flavored things are really good. Cranberries on their own are D tier. I hate eating cranberries. They're just so bitter. But things flavored with cranberry are delicious. So I'm going to put them in D tier, but just understand where I'm coming from. Strawberries suffer from the just berry problem and grape problem, the grape conundrum. I'm going to put in A tier though, just because they're just a step above. They're a cut above. I don't know how I missed this. Mango goes in S tier. S tier. Lychee is honestly pretty good. Here's the thing though. Lychee is just, this is lychee as I'm thinking of it, right? No, lychee. Yes, this is a lychee. Okay. I honestly like these a lot, but I think my favorite thing to have lychee in is in like boba. On its own, I'd probably put in B tier though. Starfruit is just whimsical, and for that reason, I think I'm gonna give it A tier. Asian pears are really good. I'm gonna give it A tier as well, because I love these. I'll devour them, but it's just not in the same thing as like I'm fucking hyped if I'm getting a peach or a nectarine or a watermelon or a mango. As we know, papaya is just in here because just the fruit has a special place in my heart specifically. Dragon fruit is mid and is overhyped. It has whimsy, but its whimsy can only get it so far. Pears are decent. Pears are pretty good. I'll probably put them in B tier. Tangerines, I think, are also B tier. They're just not as, I don't know. They're just not, I don't fuck with them. All right, let's put both jackfruit and durian in D tier. I'm sure there's like ways to prepare these, but on their own, they're just pretty gross. Guava, this is another thing where I really like the flavored things, but I don't think I'd ever go out of my way to get one. It's like good in a fruit salad, I guess. Put it in B tier, maybe C tier. No, I don't want to taint it with dragon fruit status. Pomegranates are one of the ones where you get hype whenever you have a pomegranate. And also pomegranate flavored stuff is just awesome. Actually, am I wrong? Are lychee and rambutan? I think I'm getting them mixed up. I'm just going to put both of them here. I think I've had both of them on their own. They're pretty good. Coconut, D tier. I hate coconut water too. We already talked about my... Is this fucking Christmas? Okay, sure. Sour cherry. I actually like these two. I actually prefer sour cherries to normal cherries. Is that crazy? Pineapple is a solid B tier. How much work you have to put in. And also it can... I think I'm mildly allergic to pineapple, but it's just good enough. Like also pineapple juice is just delicious. Dates are really mid. Raisins are okay. Lemon and lime on their own, they're both, it's fun to like bite into a slice of lime and they make good things. So that spares them from D tier, but I would never eat one purposefully on its own. But they're great as flavorings. Figs are a D tier. I'm not a fan of figs. Grapefruit is just a more bitter version of oranges, and I think they have a space. But I'm personally not like a... Grapefruit specifically is never really called to me. Blood orange is kind of in the same boat. Passion fruit on its own is pretty decent, but I don't think I'm also just not in the right climate for passion fruit. Same with mangosteen. Okay. This is my official fruit tier list. Do know that the papaya one is biased, but the rest of it I think is pretty good. This is my official thing. Feel free to yell at me, whatever. But these are my lists. As a refresher, this is my many things tier list. Then my pizza from Domino's specifically tier list. Definitive chips tier list. my types of drinks tier list, and my ultimate fruit. So I hope you got something out of this. Maybe you have an opinion that you hadn't formed before, that maybe I've given you an excuse to say, actually, Starfruit's awesome because I saw a video that said they were good. Anyways, that's going to be all from me. This is my stream for today. Be back tomorrow. I've got one more clip from Monkey that I'm going to watch real quick, and then we'll be done.
What's going on?
Okay. Let's see. What did Monkey cook up here?
What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to Insane Streamer Can't Clip Farm. This is from a channel called Insane Papayasaur Clips. I don't know who this guy is. Let's check it out. Needs to think. That's pretty awesome. That's good content. This guy fucking sucks at clip farming. Never be a clip farmer. Give up. Quit. Never stream again. We don't like you. Can I get someone's underage girlfriend? Huh?
I like how you just can't tell what the inside one is. This is awesome. Well, thank you, Monkeyed, for the incredible content. The Evil Papayasaur channel may be a reality coming soon to you. Anyways, I'm gonna be out. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, thank you all for hanging out. Who knows what we're gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna be putting in a little more work into editing. So you know me, I'm working on videos and stuff. So, but yeah, great content today. Maybe I'll turn some of these things into moments or clips or whatever, but yeah. So also thank you, Monkey, for the clips and the tier lists. I appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow, gamers. All right.